But I can tell you from my own knowledge that the young man's a financial genius. He managed to pull himself up by his own bootstraps. And when it comes to the diamond trade, he takes a back seat to no one.
Sounds like he leads quite a life.
Yeah, a little too rich for my blood. At least in this point in my life. That's why I got out of it. But, why the sudden interest in diamond mines and diamond merchants? First it was the Cassidines, and now Scorpio.
Well, Dan, I'm, right now, simplistically, I'm just trying to figure out if I should be, friends with Mr. Scorpio or enemies.
Well, that's a choice you have to make for yourself. But it seems to me that when you have a choice like that with any man, it's always best to choose to be friends.
I'm sure that's a very wise decision. However, see, I can't afford to make any mistakes either way. That's why I really appreciate your guidance here. Look, let's take it for instance. Say that this guy Scorpio and the Cassidines entered a room together and they confronted each other, a real confrontation. Who would be more likely to back down first?
It's hard to say.
Can you make a guess?
Well, I can tell you this. Scorpio doesn't back down to anyone. As for the Cassidines, they're called the House of Cassidine. Something like the House of Rothschild. You don't mess with them either. I'd say it was a case of an irresistible force and an immovable object.
Mm-hmm. In other words, we got a stalemate, right?
How do you ask me to guess? I never heard of anything like that happening.
Yeah. Dan, thanks. I appreciate it.
Luke, what's going on? Are you thinking of going into the diamond business?
Dan, I really don't know what I'm thinking of, and I don't even know what business I'm in right now, but wherever I am, I'm in over my head.
Well, I'm not surprised. You're moving in very exalted circles.
Yeah. I'll tell you the truth. I've been stung by Mr. Scorpio myself. And it didn't happen in Australia. It was right here in Port Charles.
You mean he's here now?
Mm-hmm. He sure is. And, ooh, I would love to even that score, but, you know, after the Frank Smith thing, I really can't afford to make any more permanent enemies.
Well, my advice to you, then, is to face up to the man. He's a pretty upfront fella, unless he's been crossed or conned by someone. That's when he usually stings a little. And of course, you can't really blame him for that, can you?
Now, wait a minute. Is that what happened to you? Did you try to con this guy?
Oh, no. It was a little more complicated than that.
Whoa. Would you mind telling me?
Well, in international financial circles, people sometimes try to cut corners a little too sharply. And they tend to spin out. That's what happened to me. I spun out when I tried to bypass Scorpio in a business deal. Of course, at the time I was working for Lamont Corbin. So I had no other choice.
Well, as I understand, Mr. Corbin's pretty famous for cutting corners.
Yeah, that's true. But I'll tell you one thing, Luke. Scorpio never held a grudge against me for it. He just made it very clear that I should never try to pull a stunt like that again. And I haven't. Maybe that'll give you an idea of what kind of a man he is.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. Thank you, Dan, very much.
I hope I helped. But the best advice I can give you is never let it come to a showdown.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right, Dan, but I'm afraid it's already gone too far for that. What the devil? We meet again, Mr. Scorpio. This time, please note who's holding the hardware. Close the door.
You, mind if I turn on the light? I don't like doing business in the dark.
Suit yourself. Join me. Sit down. Slowly. I took the liberty of taking your phone off the hook. It was a little trick that I've learned from you, you know, when I don't want to be disturbed.
What do you want?
Information. Just like you wanted when you came to my apartment. The only difference is I don't have a backup man, you see. There is no one hiding, waiting to lay iron to your head when I play. I try to play fair.
And you won't play long, I can assure you. You're probably in over your head already.
We'll see, won't we? As I review the minutes of our last meeting, I find that we really didn't come to an agreeable price about my information.
What information, Spencer?
Well, I'll tell you something. I was bluffing then. However, this is no bluff.
Where did you get that?
So simple. So simple. Next time you have hundreds of thousands of dollars in a firearm, I suggest you put it somewhere safer than a briefcase. Any low-life thug can pick a lock. You're real lucky I ain't a thief.
Then what are you? Exactly.
Maybe I'll tell you when I find out what you are. Exactly.
If I light a cigarette,
Very much bad for your health. Please keep your hands where I can see them.
I'd feel a lot more comfortable if you put down the gun.
Your comfort is not my top priority at the moment.
I might feel more like talking, too.
I'm sure you would. Nevertheless, I'll hold the gun.
As you wish. For the moment, you have the advantage of me. But things have a way of equalizing themselves over a period of time. You mind if I take off my coat?
Your joint. Be comfortable. Do it slowly, please. Slowly. There's no need to be tense, Mr. Scorpio. I'm telling you the truth. I'm all alone here. There's nobody waiting to put a blackjack to the back of your head.
Well, you probably won't believe this, but I regretted having to do that the other night. I don't like violence. Some of my friends do.
Uh-huh. You're right. I don't believe you. Not for a moment. If you distaste violence, I suggest you move in a gentler circle.
We can't always choose our companions, can we, Spencer? Business like politics breeds weird bedfellows. I move in a violent circle of people. They feel they have to practice their talents from time to time in order to stay in tune.
Practicing and staying in tune. I suggest they take up the piano. Put that glove down.
There was nothing personal in what happened the other night.
I had a huge lump on the back of my head in an apartment that looked like it was thrown in a blender. I have difficulty finding that impersonal.
It's a matter of expediency. I tried to find something, and that was all there was to it.
What were you looking for?
I told you, information.
All right, sit down. I'm tired of this fencing. I'm tired of this game. Now, I want information, too, all right? Let's play my way this time. I got questions I want answered.
Go.
Yes, go on. Number one, and most primarily, I want to know what the hell this ice princess really is.
And I thought you knew all about it now, didn't I? I mean, that's what you let me understand.
Oh, come on. You didn't know for a minute. You didn't think I knew anything. You knew I was bluffing. Come on. Okay, I was bluffing then. I have a little more information now. Now, I want you to tell me exactly what the hell this ice princess really is, because it sure ain't no diamond mine.
I always think a conversation like this goes a lot better over a drink. I have a fairly well-stocked cabinet back there. Is there something I could tempt you with?
Nothing at all.
Well, I know you drink. I mean, you offered me a little something at the last meeting.
Oh, Mr. Scorpio, that's a very tired old Dodge. It was tired and smelly when I used it. It ain't got no younger.
What's so menacing about a brandy?
You better forget that now. There must be something in that cabinet very interesting, much more interesting than brandy, or you wouldn't be headed there. No, sir. No, sit down. Sit down.
As you wish.
Yes, as I wish, exactly as I wish. My wish is that we get something very clear between us. I want to know what you know about the Ice Princess.
And what makes you think I'd tell a small-time jerk like you?
This.
I wonder.
Oh, do you? Do you wonder if it's loaded? Don't do that, pal, because believe me, this is loaded.
No. I wonder about something entirely different.
What?
Whether you got the guts for it or not. You've killed a man, Spencer. In cold blood. Reckon you could do it now.
Shall we find out together? Ooh, we will. Unless you start talking. Now.